Now we'll see some examples on this data table methods to parameterize scripts. Now this is my first example on data table methods. So I have the values in my global sheet like this. 2 rows, 2 columns I am going to enter the values. If I want to change the column name, double click on A here. So change parameter name. You can enter the new column name I given as AA. On B also I want to do the modification here. BB I given. So under AA I am going to enter the values 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And BB also I am going to enter the 9, 8, 7, 6, 5 like this. Now what my QTP has to do, these two values it has to read, it has to add those two values, that sum it has to enter under this column. But what is the default column name is there here? C is there. A, B, C, D, E, which are there here by default, those it won't consider as the column names. Okay, we have to give the column names. Okay. Now, this is my requirement. A plus B it has to do. That C value, C equal to A plus B. The C value it has to enter here. So I will give the column name also here. First example, CC I am going to give here. Okay. Now, I want to read the values from the AA column for A. How we can write the script for that? No? A equal to data table dot value of column name is AA from the global sheet has to read. Same way, B equal to data table dot value of BB then global like this. Then the C value I want to set. What I told earlier, the value method read and write both operations is going to do. Not only reading here. Now again what I want to say here, data table dot value of CC global. Which value it has to enter, that value is specified. Now see that if I run my script, data by default in global sheet means that many times script is going to execute. Yes or no? I am going to click on OK. Execution completed. If I go for tester result window, so 5 times executed, runtime data table, we got the values, but not the expected values. So what the values I got here? 5 added showing the 59. Because it is doing the concatenation. I said that in QTP, default variable data type is string. Ampersand or plus we can use to concatenate the strings. Okay. That's why they add concatenated 59. Now I want to the arithmetic operation, addition operation has to do. For that, we have to specify the data type. Conversion statements you have to use. Calculation example we discussed. C int, C CUR like this. The C int. A also C int of B like this. Now if I run, very fast executing, execution completed. If I go for tester result window, yes we got the expected output values here like this. Right values we got. Okay. So this is the first example how we can use. See, whenever data is available in the global sheet, no need to give any for loop. No need to give any for loop. By default, we have the tester settings to execute multiple iterations. And also, no need to specify which row it has to perform based on the iteration. By default, it going to execute. First time executing first iteration, first row. Second iteration, second row, it going to perform the operation. This is the first example. Now this one how we can do in application wise. Now this is my requirement this time. I have the flight reservation application. I have flight reservation application. So now global sheet, first column I am going to give order number. On B I am giving that customer name. Now under order number I am giving some order numbers like this: 5, 9, 1, 8, 3, like this. Some order numbers are given. What my QTP has to do with this number, QTP need to open a record. Open first fifth order number record. Click on OK. When it go to click on OK, some value will display or not here. It has to read that value and it has to write here Kiran. Next order number, same, it has to open again. So what is the second order number here? 9, open order. Ninth order number record if I opened. What is the customer name? Jack Burns is there. This value has to write here like this. Okay. So how we can go for this? First, to open a record, I'm going to create. Go to recording mode. So if you're interested, manual also you can write. To save the time, I am preferring recording option here. Activate flight reservation window. Select open order option. Activate open order sub window. Order number checkbox on. Enter value 5. Click on OK. Stop record. This is the basic script. After that, I want to read the customer name. How we can write the script for that? To read customer name. One variable I taken was CNAME equal to window flight reservation dot win edit of name dot get RO property of text you have to use. Now this value I want to enter in my data table. So what is the script for that? Data table dot value of column name. What is that? Customer underscore name. Case sensitive it is. Don't use spaces when you are going to the column list. Don't accept. So where it is? Global sheet. What is the value I want to enter? Scene name. Like this. So after read here, just I am going to say window flight reservation dot activate. So after open a record, so activate the flight reservation window, read the customer name from the name edit box and enter that value. But in the same way, whatever order numbers are there here, with this order numbers, I need to parameter script or not. This order number has to take. Now how we can say that? So data table dot value of, so column name order underscore number, then where it is, global sheet. You can like this. So I will going to rename the flight reservation window for script better visibility purpose. Now see my here. So first I created the required transaction script here to open a record, and here the value I parameterize by taking the test data from the global sheet. So then I'm reading the value from the application. That value I'm trying to enter into the data table here. Now if I run, a little bit slow I want to execute, go to tools, options, run, some delay, few seconds, like 200 milliseconds of time I've given. Delay I given for each step. The first row is highlighted. The value is read table, enter into the data table. The ninth record is open like this. See, I given here one customer name only. Maybe you want to read this all the values, same thing you have to do. Tickets you want to read, or price you want to read, or flight number you want to read. You can read using get out of property method. Okay. So like this. If I go for test result with load, runtime data table, we got the customer names for given order numbers. So this is, in which sheet we have the values. Two examples I explained. In both scenarios, we have the data in the global sheet. Now, in case I have the data in the action 1 sheet, we have the data in action 1 sheet, how it is going to be. Now, we'll see that example also. Let me take new test here. Action 1, if I go. Action 1. This time, simple example I'm taking. Two columns I'm going to change AA, BB. Under AA, I'm going under the values 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Under BB, I'm going under the values 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Like this. Then, what I want to do here, C equal to A multiplied with B I want to do. First, let me want to print these values. Print of C. A equal to data table dot value of column name A sheet is action 1. B equal to data table dot value of BB action 1. The script is correct. Now I am going to run it. So it is executed, but which row values is taken here? Only first row values. Then how many times I executed? Only one time. Because when data is available in the global sheet, we have the default settings. But when you have the data in action sheet, your script is going to execute only one time, irrespective of the number of rows data availability in this action sheet. So in that case, if I want to execute multiple times, what I should do? I should give the for loop in the script. I need to use for loop in the script. So how many times my script need to execute? How many times for this? 5 times, because I have the data 5 rows in my data table. So how I can find that one? Through script row count equal to data table dot get sheet of action 1 sheet dot get row count. So it will return number of rows data availability in our action 1 sheet. So that I am going to give the for loop here. For press down arrow to get the whole script into the for loop. I equal to 1 to row count. Now if I run it, when I run it, I observe that it will execute 5 times, but which row values are taken here? First row values only it's taken. Because again, explicitly you have to say that each iteration, which row it has to perform the operation. These two things are not required when I are going to work with the global sheet. But when I are going to work other than global sheet, explicitly we have to find number of rows data availability. Accordingly, we have to give the for loop. In that loop, we have to specify which row it has to perform the operation. For that, we have to say that data table dot get sheet of action 1 dot set current row of I. You have to say that. Now, if I run my script, so only plus operator, the conversion statements are required. The multiplication directly going to do the multiplication only. There is no conflict here. Like this. Okay. Now, this is not my requirement. I want to enter the values under third column it has to enter. That is my requirement. Now if I want to enter the value in the third column, what is that? My C is there. If I go for like this, data table dot value of C, where it is action 1 equal to C. If I return, if I run my script, what my QTP says for us, the C column does not exist. So I told that, so A, B, C, D, it won't consider as a column names. So now what I need to column we should create. Column, only one column I need to create. Before for loop, try to give the column name, data table dot get sheet of dot get sheet of action 1 dot set current row, sorry, add parameter. We want to create the new column here. Add parameter, column name I am giving CC. Some temporary value is mandatory. It is not optional argument. This value is asking that. I will go to give inside Q. I give one. Okay. Now here what instead of C I need to say? So CC we have to give column lowercase CC I give. Okay, now we observe that. If I am not given inside Q, it throw the error message, syntax error. Inside is there, but it override the existing value. Like this. Now here, this is very good example in terms of data table methods to understand. So once again, try to understand here. What is the first statement I have? Data table dot get sheet of action 1 dot get row count. To find number of rows availability in action 1 sheet, the first statement is going to help. So second one, add parameter. What is the purpose of this add parameter? Means to create the new column. The syntax here, add parameter, column name, comma, value. Value is mandatory argument. Any reference value you can give there. So then, based on the number of rows I given the for loop, in the loop I specified each iteration in the loop, which row it has to perform the operation using set current row. After that, data type dot value I given here. So to read the values from the action 1 action AA BB columns from the action 1 sheet, after doing the multiplication, that value to enter under CC column in action 1 sheet, like this. So get row count, add parameter, value, set current row. How many methods are covering here? So 1, 2, 3, 4 methods are going to be covered here. They are table methods. Okay. Now you see my here. I have the user ID, password values. Where I have, this time I have the QTP or external data table. This is external data table. I have the user ID and password values. I have the different set of user ID and password values. With these values, I want to go for the login validation. That is the data driven framework we are going to cover. Previously, I have the QTP data table. That is not simple data-driven testing. Now, data-driven framework means generally in organization level, tested data we are going to maintain into the external data table. While execution time, we are going to import this data into your QTP data table. From there, we are going to parameterize your test script. Okay. So, how we can do this data-driven framework. Yesterday, we discussed login operation script, login validation using environment variables. So it makes easy that we practiced or you understand that script. Okay. Now see how we can do that. This file I am going to save my working folder in C drive 10 a.m. October 16. One folder I am going to create as test data. So login data.xls I want to save. Okay. Data table dot add sheet. log dot xls. Sorry, test log sheet. Only one sheet I want to create. So data table dot add sheet test log sheet. I have global action sheets, but generally when you are going to import the data from action data table, these two sheets are not preferable. We are going to create the new sheet. Into that sheet we are going to import. So why like that we are going to means maybe the same script we are going to call to the another test. There also we have the global action sheets. Yes or no? That will be conflict. To overcome that one, so new sheet we are going to create. Into this sheet I want to import. So data table dot import sheet. Where is their C drive? 10 a.m. October 16. Where it is the test data folder. Test data, no space. Login data.xls. So sheet 1 I have the data. The data where I want to import test log sheet I want to import. So first I created new sheet. Then I have written the statement here to import the test data from sheet 1 to test log sheet. Once I import it, just I will run it. What will happen? See, observe it. As data is imported. See that. Now you think like previous example, it makes very easy here. Now data is available like this. So user ID, password is this. Now once it performs the login operation, it has to give the status or not. So the another column is required also. So see in the previous example, create a new column. Say I want to create the new column here. So how we can go for that? I want to create the new column data table dot get sheet of where it is test log sheet, add parameter status, some temporary value I am giving here inside Q. Then I want to find the number of rows I have data RC equal to. So data table dot get sheet of in the test log sheet get row count. Then I am given the for loop I equal to 1 to row count like this. So for I equal to 1 to RC, then data table dot get sheet of test log sheet dot set current row of I like this. Next thing, now to launch application. Now I want to create the script. Now so for data table concept by here. Now I am going to create the script to launch application. I want to maintain the local test objects only. To focusing here mainly on the data table methods. So first I added login objects information to the object repository, default object types. If not, login window not available, not exist in 2 seconds. Then it has to invoke the application. Invoke the application. Properties. After that, to perform login operation. So dialog of login dot activate dialog of login dot win edit of agent name dot set data table dot value of. If you see test result window, what is the column name is there? No? User ID. So I should say that user ID. Case sensitive is important. User ID, lowercase only is there. Where it is there? Test log sheet. Then again, dialog of login dot win edit of password dot set data table dot value of password lowercase I given password. Then same sheet, test log sheet. Then dialog of login dot win button of OK dot click, like this. After click on this, it has to check flight reservation window available or not. Try to add this flight reservation window information. Selected object only parent object. Check flight reservation window availability. If window flight reservation dot exist, maximum 10 seconds of time. So that means flight reservation window available means successful login operation or not. After login operation, you got the flight reservation window. The meaning is successful login operation. Now in data table dot value, so status is the column name. In test log sheet, I want to say that successful login operation. Okay, then I want to close that flight reservation window because next iteration time should not exist. Again, it has to the login operation. So close. Else, maybe it is not like that. Maybe you see that inside queue SR Nagar I given. In this login window, when I give inside queue, then SR Nagar, if I give, click on OK, we'll get the pop-up error message they are getting. Now I want to read this error message. Okay, how we can write the script? Again, add this object information to the object repository. Add this error message information to the object repository. So what is the class is showing here? Static. What is the name is showing here? Enter the password please. It is incomplete message is saying here name. So for that I will rename error message for my understandability purpose. Error message. Now so EMSG equal to dialog of login dot dialog of flight reservations dot, because SEMA it is the dialog is login under that pop-up window. So that's why I can dialog of flight reservations, not reservation one. Flight reservations it is. The window name is different. So dot the child of the static error message dot get arrow property of text, like this, to read the error message. Okay. Now after reading that, what it has to do, it has to close this sub pop-up window. Dialog of login, again dialog of flight reservations dot close. Why it has to close? Because if this window is available, QTP not able to perform the next iteration login operation. So I want to close this one, then it won't perform the login operation again. Okay, that is the reason I want to close. After closing that, in data table dot value of, what is the column name is there here? Status is the column name which I created. In that test log sheet, what has to say that login operation failed. Login operation failed. So error message I want display failed due to why. So ampersand EMSG. I want to where I want to save this message. So this entire thing I want to save in my local system working folder data table dot so export sheet where it has to export C drive 10 a.m. October 16 test result folder so login result dot xls which sheet has to export here test log sheet it has to export so test result I'll go to the new folder test result like this. Now simple login validation script. Let me close everything here. Make sure the source file also should not exist on screen. Just to have the script. What is saying that here syntax dialog login password one more bracket is required here. Missing it is. Okay. Data is imported. Status. Login window is open. First one saying the successful login operation. Second iteration I got some error message. It has the incorrect password. Please try again. Where is our result is going to be if I go for the C drive test result folder login result.xls. Now you got the message like this status of your each iteration how it is going to be. Login of failed due to incorrect password please try again. Login of failed due to agent name must be at least 4 characters long. So this is the way when you have the hundred set of values login operation you can go for like this data driven. Okay. This is what the concept we are going to call data driven framework we are going to call. All the nodes are given here. What is data from data table? What is data driven framework? So what are the examples I shown to you? That nodes are given here. Global sheet, action sheet, test login operation. I given some more example also to you. Okay. Flight reservation, how to perform insert operation by passing different values. So on Mercury tools also how to do the login operation with a multiple set of values. That script also I will send to you. You try this all the examples. But this is about the data driven framework concept.